welcome to UFC All Access. I'm Rachelle Leah. Recently, Las Vegas has become home to many of the top UFC fighters. And in this episode, we'll meet one more fighter who just moved here from Brazil to focus on his training. He ruled Pride for years, and in 31 fights, the majority of his wins have been by knockout, which is why they call him the Axe Murderer. He's very dangerous, and right now he's preparing for the most anticipated fight in UFC history against the former UFC light heavyweight champion, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Let's go say hello. Hi, Wanderlei.
Hi, Rachel.
How are you?
Fine.
Thank you for having us. This is the Axe Murderer Wanderlei Silva, and this is UFC All Access.
Okay, come on in.
Thank you. Legendary is a term that is not thrown around lightly in the UFC. Over the last decade, Chuck Liddell has without a doubt been the UFC's king of kings. But during Chuck's legendary reign, there has been another who has built his legacy by dominating Pride on the other side of the planet. His name is Wanderlei Silva, and what he has done to his opponents is pure legend. The man known as the Axe Murderer attacks with an aggression and ferocity that has to be seen to be believed. Silva is seriously one of the scariest people you will ever see in a fight. Just ask Japanese superstar Kazushi Sakuraba, who he crushed not one, not two, but 3 times. It's a style that has endeared him to fans worldwide. Wanderlei always comes to fight, and he'll keep swinging until someone is no longer standing. He's a warrior who is all heart, and he is one of the most dangerous men on the planet. It's no wonder that the dream match between Silva and Liddell that will finally take place on December 29th is one of the most anticipated fights in mixed martial arts history. Not only have the fans wanted this match for years, but Silva himself has salivated for this his entire career. It's one of the reasons he recently moved to the United States from his Brazilian homeland. He's gone from being one of many fighters training with the famed Shootbox Club to the sole warrior working with a new elite team of trainers that are focused exclusively on him and his new career in the UFC. The entire team lives under one roof like an extended family of fight. His daily regimen is designed by conditioning guru Rafael Alejandra. His jiu-jitsu training is hands-on with 11-time world champion Andre Galvao, and his boxing has been stepped up by Ulysses the Professor Pereira. It's a new beginning for a man who will not be satisfied until he is wearing the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship belt. Wanderlei moved to Las Vegas from Brazil, seeking better opportunities for himself and his family.
I'm glad I moved here. The quality of life is good. The house, the cars. I wanted to give this life to my family, my son, my wife.
His wife Tia and 4-year-old son Thor make up Wanderlei's small, immediate family. But step inside this home and you'll also find Silva's much larger, recently adopted family.
Eu tenho agora, realmente, a gente está morando em 4 famílias dentro da minha casa.
There are 4 families living in this house. It's good to have so many people. It's a happy home.
Eu tô muito...
I have much more focus now because I don't have a lot of places to be. I go to train and then I come back home. While at home, I watch videos of my opponent and discuss my training with my coaches.
Vendo luta.
I'm living for this match.
As intense as Wanderlei is about fighting, his priorities in life still place family first. I tagged along with him on his daily morning car ride to school with his son and got to learn more about his training in Brazil and what his plans are now here in the U.S. So, why did you make the move from Brazil to Las Vegas?
In Brazil, I work in the same time with the same guys with 15 years. And I think now I have maybe more 5-7 years for working. And here is a house of the fighters. No, Las Vegas is a home of the fighters. Have events is here, and the for to train here is different. It's totally different.
How did you train in Brazil differently from here in Las Vegas?
In Brazil, I train in my home.
For 15 years, Wanderlei's Brazilian home was not only his residence, but his place of business as well. a place of intensity, hard work, and innovation. It was there that he pioneered many techniques such as heavy-duty tire flipping and sledgehammer training that are now widely used by the mixed martial arts world.
Vamos, vamos, vamos! Bora, isso! Isso, vambora! Aí, Wanderlei!
As successful as the Axe Murderer has been in his career, the opportunity to fight in the UFC has reignited Wanderlei's hunger. For him, it's a rebirth.
The UFC is the best organization in the world right now. I've had 40 matches in my career, but right now is a great moment because I get to start all over again. This next match will be the same as my very first match. When I step into the octagon, I need to prove that I'm a good fighter, that I can put on a great show, and that I can become the champion. But right now, I'm the challenger, and that's great for me.
You know, imagine the guy, oh, now you go to fight with the Axe Murderer. Oh, it's danger, no?
Right now, Wanderlei's taking his son to school. When we come back, you're going to see a training session like you've never seen before. Sure, other fighters circuit train, but you'll see how this snorkel pushes Wanderlei to the limit. And what's with the ice water? You're not going to believe this. Stick around to find out. Welcome back to UFC All Access. I'm Rachelle Leah. We're here in Las Vegas, Nevada with Wanderlei Silva, the Axe Murderer, who's known for his unique workouts and pushing the envelope with his training. Right now, he's going to do what his coach calls hypoxia training, circuit training with a snorkel, which limits his supply of oxygen. First, it's time to gear up. Heart rate monitor, 45-pound vest, and the finishing touch, a completely sealed nasal cavity, forcing him to breathe only through the snorkel. This circuit looks more like something out of NASA than the UFC. And by the way, don't try this at home. Wanderlei is a trained athlete surrounded by skilled professionals monitoring his health minute by minute.
The snorkel is a new way of training. I wanted to change the level of my training. It's much more difficult now. You don't use your nose, just your mouth. So training 15 minutes with the snorkel is the same as training 2 hours without. After I'm done, all I want to do is eat and sleep. I'm very, very tired.
All fighters breathe through their mouth and nose in a fight. With the hypoxia training, I close his nostrils, making it harder to breathe. The body demands more oxygen, but the intake is not enough to fulfill the demand. So it will increase his lactic acid faster, and he will get more fatigue.
This buildup of lactic acid makes Wanderlei's muscles tire quicker, simulating the later rounds of a fight. He literally has to push through the pain.
5, não desiste, não desiste, não desiste. Vambora! Rápido, rápido.
After every round, my blood is tested. This is to measure the level of my conditioning and make sure that I'm not over or under training.
The higher the lactic acid level, the more painful this workout is for Wanderlei. And believe it or not, that's just what they're shooting for. If Wanderlei's body can fight through this workout, then fighting through the fatigue of a 3-round fight should be no problem.
Vai sair do Olímpico. Você vai aqui?
The final round is very hard. I only have 40 seconds to rest between rounds. And after 2 10-minute rounds, last 5 minutes are almost impossible. Your body is in such pain, but you need to keep going because in a fight, you can't stop.
Bota, bota, bota. 2, 3, 4, 5. Isso, Wanderlei. Tem que voltar com mais de 5-8 aí de cima, hein? Vambora, vambora. Mais de 5-8 aí de cima, hein? Rápido, rápido, rápido. 3. Já terminou o tempo. Agora foi.
Some fighters train for months, 5 hours a day, and after 2 minutes in a fight, they get tired. This sport is hard. You're going so hard and so fast, you need to train even harder to keep that pace.
2, 3, 4. 2, vem, Wanderlei.
He just finished 20 minutes of circuit training with weights and a snorkel. You are not going to believe what he's going to do next.
Tá, 2, vai.
Depois que eu treino, realmente o meu corpo dói muito.
The circuit training causes a lot of pain in my muscles. The ice helps to reduce the pain and speed up my recovery time so that I can continue training a lot sooner. The first few seconds in the ice are very hard to handle because your body is very hot and your heart is beating so fast. But soon you relax and start to focus, and the coldness goes away.
When UFC All Access returns, Wanderlei jumps into some slightly warmer water, and we'll get to witness his power inside the octagon. Seeing is truly believing. Stick around. Welcome back to UFC All Access. We're in Las Vegas hanging with Wanderlei Silva. After his intense one-of-a-kind circuit training session, going for a swim sounds like a nice way to cool down. But once again, there are no walks in the park for Wanderlei. His trainer Rachelle has yet another trick up his sleeve.
A natação é um tipo de trabalho.
One of the exercises we do in the pool is with weights. Wanderlei dives to the bottom of the pool to grab the weights, which demands muscle work without any oxygen. This increases his pulmonary activity.
Eu treino na piscina, treino.
My training in the pool is great. Diving to the bottom to grab the weights without the oxygen I need helps to prevent gassing in a fight.
Eu sinto que parece que eu.
This is very important. It strengthens my lungs, so I have much more oxygen intake during a fight.
Before heading back to the gym, Wanderlei and his trainers stop at the house for lunch and some rest. Although Silva's diet isn't strictly controlled, he admits his options tend to be a little boring.
Arroz e frango.
I eat the same every day. It's always pasta, beef, and chicken. Or it's chicken, beef, and pasta. Carbohydrates and protein only. I don't need salt, I don't need sugar. Just the basics.
We're back at the gym here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where Wanderlei Silva trains. Since moving to the United States, he spends a lot more time on his training. Right now, he's working on technique and tactics with his coach, Ulysses.
Eu treino mais boxe dessa vez porque.
I'm training a lot of boxing for this fight. More than usual, because my opponent has heavy hands. I have to change up my tactics because I want to knock him out. My punches are very fast and very strong.
Legal, go to see.
Wanderlei's boxing skills are great for the UFC. He has knockout power in both hands with jabs and crosses.
You can see from this workout how powerful Wanderlei's striking ability really is. What you don't see is this is like a 45-minute long workout. And by the way, he hits just as hard at the end of this workout as he does in the beginning. The Axe Murderer has always been known for his spectacular punching power. However, he's anything but one-dimensional. Even though he holds a black belt in jiu-jitsu, Wanderlei believes there's always room for improvement. When he moved to the States, he brought with him 11-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion Andre Galvão to be his exclusive trainer.
Agora eu tenho professor.
I have very good defenses in jiu-jitsu, but I needed to develop my attack. Now with Andre, I have a great opportunity for this.
We're at the next level. He now has weapons to counterattack submissions. He's as aggressive on the ground as he is standing. He's a complete fighter now.
Bom, mas mais na defesa.
To have good jiu-jitsu, you need a good head. It's a very hard discipline to learn, but I'm a lot better at it now.
Okay, so you've seen Wanderlei's intense training program. Now when we return, you get to see the man fight. It's live sparring up next on UFC All Access. Welcome back to UFC All Access with Wanderlei, the Axe Murderer Silva. We've examined his intense boxing and grappling workouts, but to truly appreciate this man's power and work ethic, we'll watch him get up close and personal with a sparring partner. 3 times a week, he gets hands-on experience that's as heavy-duty as it gets.
Eu treino no cicatriz porque eu não gosto de usar.
When I get punched, my face gets stronger. I need to feel the real sensation you'd feel in a fight. Now, the punches and kicks are no problem. It's normal to me now.
Wanderlei actually allows his sparring partner to land shots on him to toughen his skin.
No começo da luta, primeiro e segundo minuto da luta são realmente muito importantes.
I like to spar without headgear. I want to get hit to toughen my skin. In the first 2 minutes of a fight, you're cold. Your skin is tight and you can cut easily. After the first couple minutes, you begin to warm up, and by the end of the fight, no pain, nothing.
Primeiro, pelo bom trabalho que é feito, né, com profissional.
Wanderlei's power comes from his hard conditioning work. This gives him great speed and explosion.
Ele é profissional, entendeu? Ele não muda.
Wanderlei is a professional. His job is to win. He goes into the octagon with determination and aggression.
Esse é o meu estilo.
I'm aggressive in a fight. That's my style. If my opponent punches me, I just get crazy and I want to kill him. Many people have told me that it's impossible to sit during my matches, and that's because of this aggressive style.
This is very good work, Kai. Very good.
Oh, thank you, man.
If there's one thing to say about Wanderlei Silva, it's that he truly believes hard work is a virtue. It's a lesson in life he learned from his father and now seeks to pass on to his son.
A grande lição que meu pai me deixou foi que
If you work hard, life can be great. If you don't, life will be bad. I learned this from my father. He worked 3 jobs from 5 in the morning to 10 at night in order to be able to feed me, clothe me, and send me to school. This is the lesson I want to give to my son. Work hard.
bem alto. Eu quero continuar lutando aqui no UFC.
I like being in the UFC. It's a great promotion and there are many great fighters in my division. I hope to fight here for many years to come and become the champion of the UFC. I'm training hard every day, working a lot. I go to give my best. I go to win for my family and my fans.
I want to thank Wanderlei Silva for giving us all access. He moved halfway across the world to focus on his training. He's very focused and ready for his long-awaited fight against former UFC light heavyweight champion Chuck Liddell on December 29th. I want to wish him luck, and I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Rachelle Leah, and this has been UFC All Access. We'll see you next time.